Good day. I'm your teacher in charge in Literacy Training Service 2. I am Mr. Rodolfo P. Crisostomo Jr., your supervising coordinator in LTS 2. Actually, National Service Training Program under Literacy Training Service 2 is all about how to learn, helping the community with literacy and numeracy service. So we are going to take upon the topic today for lesson number 10, specifically the learning hubs and tutorial. So you are going to have groups, and these groups are online, and they are dependent upon the signal or the internet service that you have. So you need to have gadgets in order to connect with each other. So peer group learning is included in this aspect because learning hubs are supposed to be a hub for discussion, for asking what can I do for you or what can you do for me. So the group should be a way to improve any of your members, and you have different designations as you have answered in lesson 1. So there are 3 types of learning hubs: the ring, the bus, and the star. These are used in technologies, in arrangement of typically in arrangement of computers, in connections, but this is also used in education. As we can see, modern education is using technologies in the process. That's why we have the input, process, output type of learning. Okay, so it is necessary to have your own GC with your logo and your members. Actually, you have 5 members in a group. So make sure that you are going to use 48 hours of your community service. I'm suggesting that you go for 50 hours. You cannot do with less than 48 hours, but you can do your service more than 48 hours. So if you have 50 hours, then you are going to divide it into 5 duties. You are going to tutor, each of you should tutor 5 duties in your area. It can be your friend, your neighbor, your relatives that needs tutorial. If you are a BEd student, make sure that you are tutoring elementary students. Okay, and you are going to document this using pictures or videos. So your activity should be documented and it should be posted in your messenger. So make sure that 50 hours are subdivided into 5 duties. Therefore, there should be 10 hours for each duty. Now you are going to look upon some of the meaning of tutorials. What does tutorial mean? Okay, tutorial is a class conducted by a tutor, and that will be you, for one student or a small number of students, because this is the only way we can do with the rules of IATF. So we need to have at least 5 students. You can have one-on-one or maybe 2 or 3 at the same time. It's up to you in your Gantt chart, in your scheduling. Okay, so what is a tutorial and what is its purpose? A tutorial is designed to give you a space to engage more actively with the course content. They provide a much better opportunity to get to know your lecturers, mentors, and fellow students than most lecturers offer. So actually it is a personalized service for your potential tutees. Why tutorial is very important? Tutorial is an important teaching learning tool. It helps learners enhance their intellectual, communication, and social skills. On average, only 45 to 50% of students attend tutorials. Even those who attend tutorials do so without adequate preparation, although they are given 1 week to study the topic. But however, if you are going to be prepared, it will be an easy task for you to become a tutor. How do tutorials work? Tutorials are small discussion-based groups of students enrolled in a particular course. That's why your students should be known on what school they are enrolled, in what grade they are enrolled, what are their names, they're female or male. So all of those data should be included in your module, no? There is a part in the module that you will be writing all of this. So your the profile of your tutees. What are their needs? What are their weaknesses? Saan ba sila mahina? English or math? Numeracy or literacy? So you have to know that, the weaknesses, and then help them. Okay? So each group has actually more knowledgeable ones. So if you are having 5 members in a group, there can be 1 member who is more knowledgeable. So maybe they can help the other members of the group. That's why this is called what we call peer learning. Okay, a session given by a tutor is called a tutorial. A tutorial could be a one-on-one session in a tutoring place or center or elsewhere. Pwede lang naman sa ilalim ng mangga, pwede ka magturo doon ng tutorial, because that is a one-on-one situation only. How do tutorials help students? Okay, tutorials is a teaching session given to one student or small group of students. Tutors do not give grades, but however they assess their students, their tutees. They try to help or coach these students. A session given by a tutor is called a tutorial, and a tutorial could be somewhat personal, no? Tutors meet with students weekly or even daily. It depends upon your Gantt chart, to review homework and prepare for school tests, class projects, and others. But more likely, preparing to do their modules. So you should help them to make their modules and assist them. Nowadays, tutors are helping students overcome their modular online study dilemmas. So the problems of the students can be augmented or diminished by your tutoring. Okay? What skills do you learn from tutoring? So on the other way around, in doing your numeracy and literacy service, you are going to learn and improve your skills in teaching. By highlighting your tutoring skills and working on areas you can improve, you can introduce yourself as a qualified candidate to employers, or to maybe in DepEd if you happen to pass the LET in the future. Examples of tutoring skills are patience, positivity, empathy, confidentiality, technical knowledge, more use of technologies, and active listening, communication, and leadership. Some students of mine, before they can graduate, they are having their sidelines and doing tutorials. But however, in NSTP-LTS, you are going to do this without any remuneration. Okay, because this will be a literacy training service to the community. You are going to help these students. What are the benefits of tutoring? Tutoring offers a unique and individualized learning experience. Okay? So, it increases good study skills and habits. It improves academic performance, retention, and personal growth. It encourages a higher level of thinking and it improves self-esteem. It helps you become an independent learner. It puts you in charge of your learning process. It supports in-class learning. So you are going to be developed as a teacher in your first phase as a first-year college student. So maybe this experience of yours will be helpful in the near future. Tutorials are of three types. We have group tutorials. If you are going to meet the students, all of them, 5 of them, then this will be conducted to solve the problems of the grown-up pupils of average level. And then supervised tutorial. In the supervised tutorial, the talented pupils and the teachers discuss the problems from time to time. And practical tutorial, which means learning by doing tutorials or apprenticeship. More likely in some of the technical vocational topics, you can use this apprenticeship. Learning by doing, according to John Dewey. Okay? So what is the difference between tutorial and lecture? So a lecture is a formal presentation conducted by a lecturer in a seminar workshop. Tutorials are smaller classes that allow discussion or lecture content and assignments. You can ask questions and clarify what you have studied. Workshops usually involve academic staff presenting themes or concepts related to the course. So maybe you can make a tutorial paper in accordance to prepare for yourself in tutoring. A tutorial paper provides novel and original insight and reflection on the use of one of several methods of modeling, design, analysis, or synthesis in an accessible format that can be used for guided or self-instruction. The format for a tutorial paper is the same as a research paper. So maybe you can try to find the weaknesses of your students and try to find the solution to strengthen their knowledge on that weakness. Okay? So what are the 7 steps to creating an effective tutorial? Make sure that number 1, make sure that you pinpoint the problem you are going to solve. If you are writing a tutorial paper, it is because you have noticed a problem of the student. Okay. Identify your audience. That is very important. The focus of education, as we have studied, is actually specifically the student or the learner. So make sure that you know your learners. Number 3, define what success looks like. You can define the success of your students that you are going to tutor. Number 4, decide the format of your tutorial. And number 5, make it user-friendly. So make sure that you are part of the learner's improvement. And number 6, elicit feedback from your learners or audience. You need to have a feedback coming from your duties. And then number 7, don't forget about your tutorial. So make sure that you are going to be prepared on the topics and you are going to be prepared on what you are going to tutor to your duties. Why do students need tutoring? Tutoring helps increase your child's motivation and attitude, so he or she can reach his or her full academic potential. So they need to be encouraged to study. Tutoring helps teach students to think critically about problems and how to solve them. So it is a problem-solving technique in the process. These skills help your child face and overcome challenges he or she faces inside or outside the classroom in real life situation. Okay? So in order to do this, what are the qualities do you need to be a tutor? The 5 most important qualities of an effective tutor. Number 1 is patience. You should have patience. While experience is what they say brings patience, we say it's more of a virtue developed by choice. So make sure that you have patience. Mahaba ang iyong PC sa iyong mga estudyante. Number 2, flexibility, dynamism, and openness to changing. Tutoring is one profession that calls for continuous reinventing and innovating your styles, innovating your ways of teaching. All of these are needed. IQ, you need to have intelligence quotient. EQ, you need to have emotional quotient. And SQ, you need to have social quotient. All of these are being provided for in the multiple intelligences of Howard Gardner. And number 4, you have to have good communication skills. When you say good communication skills, you need to be very good in speaking and writing. You should be very good also in listening. Okay. And the ability to make students improve visual literacy. You need to motivate them to improve their visual literacy. And number 5, of course, you and your tutor should have self-discipline. So self-discipline are needed to achieve the full potential of learning. Okay, so those are the 5 teaching skills in the tutorial. So by the way, in doing this, you are going to help those students, more likely those who are out of school youth, all of those who need your help in numbers and letters. When you say numbers, that will be numeracy. When you say letters, that will be literacy. Whether you are BS Ed or BE Ed, you need to help them achieve their full potential in learning. So your tutors should be prepared for their modular experiences and online experiences. And that's all. I'm your Professor Rodolfo P. Crisostomo Jr. saying that according to Alvin Toffler, the literacy of the 21st century is not only not knowing how to read and write. We should know how to learn, unlearn, and relearn. Thank you very much for listening, and make sure that you provide good service to the learners, the needy learners. Thank you very much for listening. Bye.